Welcome to the Academy of Growth. We are a young NGO from Germany and we are based on a beautiful farm. Last year we had our first youth exchange, and together with 20 participants from 4 different European countries, we co-created together the beautiful raised bed garden that you see behind me. And in the following video, the participants will show you in a step-by-step instruction how you can build these boxes by yourself.
So we are here in the first step. We got a pallet, but this is not every pallet you can find in supermarkets. This is a very much better quality of a pallet. This is used to carry large cargo. So it's a very good quality wood, and also there's no gap in between, which is very ideal. One other important thing for choosing your pallet is to make sure that they have an even number of planks. This will help you cut it in half and you save time and energy. So the first thing we'll have to do is to deassemble the parts of the pallet. So we only want this part. So we use safety gloves and a hammer. So as I said, you need safety gloves. We're gonna use a heavy hammer for this to make a gap between this part and this part. So after you do that, we need to cut the nails. To do that, we will use electric saw with the special blade that is ideal for cutting nails. Do not do that with any electric saw. Make sure that your jigsaw is the right one. So for safety reasons, make sure that you cut. For safety reasons, after cutting, make sure that there's no nails coming off the planks. So you can either use the hammer to put them back in, or use the saw again to cut the nails that are off. So you want to also use these ones. So after you finish with this process, you also take the cubes off, and we are left with the main part and 3 planks. So now that we have everything, we'll cut this in half. So we have 12 planks, and we count 6, 2, 4, 6, and we cut it in half. And then every piece that we're left with is one wall of our garden box.
Maybe it's a battery?
Make it bigger, take it off. It's not.
So the only thing that we'll not use for the garden beds are these cubes. This is the only waste. But if they are in perfect condition, you can use them for other crafts or for your fireplace. This is the most important step of the process. This is exactly what will make the garden box last for many, many more years. It's a Japanese technique called yakisugi, which is the process of burning the wood in order to make the cells of the wood shrink, leaving no food for the fungi, no room for the fungi to grow. Also, it leaves no room for the water, so it makes it very, very durable to water. So we're gonna use a torch, a flamethrower, whatever you have, and we will just slightly burn. So this is how far you should go with the fire. You only need the outside of the wood to burn. So after you need to get rid of the carbon that is outside of the wood. You do it with the metal scrub. You will see that the carbon becomes dust. Part of why we do that is also because we put oil, and if there's a lot of carbon outside, we will not have this wood texture. It will be completely black, and we want it to look natural, like this. So we scrubbed the carbon, and now you can see that the wood is full of dust, and we don't want that when you will put the oil. So we're gonna use a broom or a wind blower to get rid of this dust, so we can put the oil. So you can see that it will start. As we mentioned, we burn the wood to shrink the cells of the wood and make no room for the fungi and the water. So now we will put linseed oil. This is an oil for wood that we close any other gaps that are left inside the wood. So at the end of the whole process, there will be no room for the fungi and the water. So the wood will be very, very durable. It will not decompose easily and becomes very, very waterproof. And we make the same thing also for the planks, burning and oiling. So next step is putting everything together to make our little frame for our garden box. The first part of the process is putting safety gloves, always, and it's important to pre-drill our screws in the parts, so it will be much easier when you're putting everything together. So the first part of the process is measuring the distance that you need to pre-drill. So in this case it's 3.5 centimeters. So we're going now to the station to measure 3.5 centimeters in all the parts. Now we're in the process of measuring, and we're gonna put screws in the first one, the last one, and the two middle ones. So we make sure it's stable. We can use whatever you want. You can use a pen, but in this case, because it's also black, we use the knife to mark 3.5 centimeters so we can pre-drill our holes. And now we'll put the holes with the drill.
From here,
Yeah.
you wouldn't need to go all the way around.
We're making a video. So we have made the marks of 3.5 centimeters, and now we're gonna drill some holes. It's very, very important to keep your drill as straight as possible when you make the holes. So next step is putting the screws. So we don't put the screws all the way, we just put them in just to be stable. That will help us later put everything together in a much easier.
It actually cuts the outer shell and you see how great it dies.
So this is enough. You see there, it's very stable. It's not penetrating the wood. So at the end of the process, we have pre-drilled and pre-screwed parts of the puzzle. And what you're gonna do for one box is 2 pre-drilled and pre-screwed parts and 2 that are not pre-screwed. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna start building our box. So it's time to start putting everything together. It's ideal to not do it by yourself, because teamwork makes the dream work. So we have here Thomas, Spiridula and Jan that will work together to build this garden box. Let's go. So it's important the reason it's important to have people with you is that you make sure it's 90 degrees angle and you also push while you drill, so everything is well tied together. What? So nice is holding. Now we just make a square. Let's put everything together. So these are all the parts together that make the frame of the garden box. This is how it should look like. It's perfectly 90 degrees angles. And then make sure you carry it very, very carefully. Watch out, careful. So, the next step is to put the bricks under the garden bed. We do that to make sure that the wood is not in contact with the soil. So, this way it will not rot under. Another crucial step for your garden bed to last for many, many years is to use protective foil. This is a foil that is used also for building houses, and we put the foil inside the garden bed. The reason we do that is first for the soil to not come in contact with the wood, so it helps it not rot and not be in contact with water constantly. We use this special foil that has these things here, and that way the air can go between the soil and the wood, and it helps it to not rot again. So everything we do is to make sure that the wood doesn't rot. To stick the foil in the wood, you can use nails, and it's ideal if you have something like this, because then it becomes more and more waterproof. So you put this like this. Now Tom and Jan will show you the process. So you can see that there's some gaps between the planks. So the foil not only helps the wood to not rot, but also for any water or soil get out. After the foil is nailed, you can cut the extra foil if there is. So the final step of the process is to make the top part of the garden.
In the last step, we need to fill the raised beds. And for this we used a lasagna style. Behind me you can see 3 different piles. One is wooden compost, one is spent mushroom substrate, which is a mix of horse manure and straw, and one is compost. And what we did first, we filled the base with wooden compost to have a carbon base, and then we mixed compost and mushroom substrate in a layer system to fill up the whole garden bed.